In the exciting world of grammar, prepositions are unsung heroes. They convey so much with so little. Take the name of this game, for example. You call this Spy on Kids, and you end up in prison. But if you take away the preposition, you get a blockbuster movie franchise, a new Nintendo DS game, and an excuse to watch Jessica Alba. This is Spy Kids all the time in the world. Released earlier this month, Spy Kids All the Time in the World is a 2D platformer, I guess loosely based on the new movie of the same name. I don't know, I've not seen it, and I have no plans on seeing it. You play as Rebecca and Cecil, kids who are attacked before leaving for school by some weirdo with a laser gun. It's fortunate then that their dog is actually a talking robot, and their cousin is a secret spy. Seriously, who writes this stuff? And why am I not writing major Hollywood motion pictures? You could write random nouns, adjectives, and verbs onto pieces of paper, put them in your hat, pull them out at random, and reassemble them on a coffee table the best you can, and you'd be writing a comparable story to Spy Kids All the Time in the World. This is ridiculous. Unfortunately, the gameplay is more coherent. This is a straightforward game that places familiar mechanics in what seems like a training wheels platformer, only it isn't as much of a training wheels platformer as you might think. I was actually surprised by how tricky All the Time in the World can be. Now, it's not going to stump anyone seasoned in the genre, but for its intended audience, this is a surprisingly challenging game. In fact, it's kind of like Bionic Commando for kids, in a sense. One of the characters does a double jump, but the other can use a rope to swing from the ceiling. That should be kind of familiar to old school platforming fans, and although this still isn't a game for them, it's at least something they can buy for their kids and know that they're indoctrinating them for future allegiance to much better games. All the Time in the World only has 8 levels, so it's not a very long game, but as you'd expect from a platformer aimed at kids, it breaks things up by throwing in some different gameplay. So you get things like this shooter level, for example, and now you're indoctrinating them for future allegiance to R-Type. Well played, you are a good parent. So there's nothing in here you wouldn't expect, but what you might not expect is the quality level. All the Time in the World is actually kind of well made. The controls are solid, the platforming's alright. I mean, the team at 19 Studios deserves some credit. It's always nice to see a developer make a solid product out of what should be a crappy licensed game. Now, I guess the movie is in 4D. I have no idea what that means. It's probably just marketing BS. So the game obviously has 2 fewer Ds, but if I had to add 2 more, I guess they'd be decent, and Jessica Alba doesn't start with a D. She's not in this game either, so I guess decent. I can't think of another D for Spy Kids All the Time in the World. D is for Derek. That's good enough for me.